Access to quality education remains a luxury for most pupils in the northern regions, from deplorable infrastructure and non-existing classroom buildings in some communities to a lack of teaching and learning materials. Data available shows a deficit of 66.4%, 54%, and 26.7% of tables and chairs for pupils in the kindergarten, primary, and junior high, respectively. Also, between 18.9% and 23.2% of classrooms across basic schools in the northern region require some form of renovation, with many others still under trees. The situation in northern region often translates to poor performance of the BECE. There is also a high rate of school dropout in the regions in the north.
I don't have nice school because of rain will come in. You can run to home. If the teacher teaches, you can leave here and go to house and sit it. If you can come and build then school. If you go to toilet, you want to see the snake and your scorpions. It's not nice.
Speaking on the sidelines of the annual Stakeholders Education Accountability Forum in Tamale, the director for School for Life, an NGO, Wedab Saibu, noted that commitment from community leaders is essential in alleviating the hurdles faced by public basic schools.
It is important for communities to also support in this direction. Parents need to really invest more, invest their energies and time and focus into children's education and contribute in whichever way they can to support the government's effort. The government is doing its bit, but there's a lot more to be done in terms of financing, in terms of ensuring that the necessary resources are provided. And it's a collective and concerted approach that we need to have to be able to deal with these challenges that we are confronted with.
Meanwhile, the Executive Director of Africa Education Watch, Kofi Asare, emphasized the need for government to uncap GET Fund and free resources to basic schools.
We need to uncap the GET Fund and free resources for basic education. Let's prioritize the GET Fund. If consistently able to commit 50% of the GET Fund to basic education financing, we can address the deficit within 3 years. You see, but until there is political will, by the government to prioritize basic education by freeing resources available for infrastructure to focus more on basic education, I'm not sure we're going to get anywhere with bridging the gap between bridging the infrastructure gap. So political will is key. We need to uncap the GET Fund, commit more of the GET Fund to infrastructure development, and then also make this DACF very more efficient. But let me finally say that, you see, as the years go by, more and more percentage of the GET Fund is being committed to other uses, other non-infrastructure uses. We must appreciate that the focus of GET Fund was infrastructure. Okay, so this year, for instance, out of about 2.6, out of about 1.8, we saw that about 400 million was going to other areas like textbooks, the teachers' laptops. I'm not saying just laptops are not important, textbooks are not important, but GET Fund should focus more on infrastructure, so that most of these goods and services that need to be procured through central government resources, should go there, so that we can say that GET Fund is mainly a pillar for infrastructure development. If we don't prioritize and develop a plan to bridge the infrastructure gap in basic education, as part of strategy to bridge the basic education gap, in urban and rural areas, or more specifically the north and south, it will be difficult. The gap can be broken until we bridge infrastructure gap and then also bridge the desk gap.
The issue of quality basic education has been of great concern to many stakeholders. They are calling on government to invest more in basic education. From Tamale, Dinah Ungwan, Citi News.